Okay, Rodney, it's all yours.
Well, good evening, everybody. The February 2021 meeting of the Alamance County Historic Properties Commission will come to order. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from last month's meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Were there any questions, additions, or deletions? Well, if I get a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the meeting.
I second it.
So we've got a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
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 So let me make sure I have that straight. Since we're live streaming, Lee made the first motion and who seconded?
Laurie Smith.
Thank you, Lori.
All right. So I'm not looking at the next agenda item.
Let me see here. Let me get us back up there.
All right. And my report on the memorial plaque is the same as it was, so we're going to move on past that. And now we've got two applications. And I'll let you go with that, Tanya, and we'll talk about them one at a time.
Sure, let me get the first one pulled up for us.
Okay.
First applicant we have is Emily White. And now, Emily, this is your turn to kind of talk to the board about your interest and why this would be a good fit for you.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Sure can.
Okay.
Yes.
I never know with these things sometimes. You know, I saw this, I can't even November where I exactly saw this posted. So I said, I found a great interest in the historic properties. So I said, well, you know, I don't know necessarily if I'd add real value at the beginning. My background is in accounting, but I just thought that you know, if I could add an outside the box perspective of, you know, and see how these historic properties are, one, deemed that way, and two, maintained, and all the other things that go with this. I just thought that I would be very interested in, one, finding out about that, and two, seeing if I could help.
Well, thank you for
that. My dad was on the planning board in Archdale, and so he was always involved in stuff. And then since we've moved to Graham, I haven't really had an opportunity to get involved in the community. So I just saw this as an opportunity, other than my coaching that I do at Graham Rec.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Well, does anybody want to take any action?
I make a motion that we begin the process of accepting her into the Historic Properties Commission.
Second. Mhm.
With your permission, I'm going to restate that. We have a motion to recommend Emily White to the Board of Commissioners for appointment to the Historic Properties Commission. Is that all right, Laurie?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Is there any discussion?
So one thing to throw in there. We have Lori making the motion and Lee seconding the motion. Is that right?
Yeah, I seconded the motion.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay. Well, let's move on to the other applicant.
All right, so the second applicant we have for consideration is John. Hello. John is here with us as well. John, this is your opportunity to kind of talk to the board as well.
Okay, thank you. Well, I've always been interested in history. I'm a history buff, and particularly in some of the old historical sites. I am a member of of a memorial association, and I've always been disappointed as I've traveled the state in my previous job to stumble across graveyards that are abandoned and overrun, and buildings that are crumbling in, and I just have a deep interest in history and thought this would be a good place to use that interest. That's about it.
Yeah, and John, I just wanted to mention this to you. We also appreciate your service. We appreciate your service to the nation.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, because you retired from the Air Force, right?
Correct.
So we thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Sit right there. Sit right there. Sit right there.
I make a motion that we also submit John's application to the county commissioners for exception into the Historic Properties Commission.
I'll second.
So the motion was by Lori, the second was by Lisa. Is there any discussion? All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Well, we potentially got a full board.
That would be great. Now, Emily and John, we will be taking this recommendation to the Board of Commissioners at their March 1st meeting, which is a daytime meeting. You all are not required to be there. As a matter of fact, public can't come into those meetings right now. They likely will put you on consent agenda and then just make a motion with the whole consent agenda to pull y'all through. They'll send you letters once that's done to give you recognition that they've acknowledged you and what your terms are. I believe your 3-year term, so that'll put you through 2024. I believe that's the way they'll do that, or end of 2023. So they'll get you a letter out and everything, but it'll be the March 1st meeting that they'll hold that information.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Well, all right. Do you have anything else, Tanya?
I don't have anything right now. I know the state is rearing up and getting everything ready for more training for this year, and it looks like it's going virtual like it did last year. I think that was a benefit, that nobody had to travel and you could do the training kind of on your own time. We do have that requirement that 2 members of the board need to go do the training each year to keep us our credit straight and keep us an authority to actually be a board. And we've done a really good job. I appreciate everybody's input at the meetings, and we're getting a full board, which we hadn't had in a little while. So that will be really good, and training is good for everybody. Since we don't get to meet as often, it keeps us kind of abreast on how things are, what the state's looking for, and how that changes.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything they want to add at this point? Well, in that case, if we get that motion, this could be one for the books.
Make a motion to adjourn.
That's Lee Abbott.
I second.
That's Mr. Christopher. Motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
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 See you next time.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good night.
Take care.